Toronto and Pittsburgh, I didn't think looked as good. So I went, all right. So based on that, I'll have, they've won a lot of games lately. There's a lot of teams with gaudy records, and Lewis is also one of those teams with gaudy records. And so we'll see over the next few weeks who drops out of the top. Although this week, the one team that drops out of the top 8 is technically, no, actually I'm not sure. I was looking at last week. Like, no, nobody dropped out of the top 8 this week. But there's a team that could. So St. Louis dropped out of the top 8 last week. Nobody dropped out of the top 8 this week. Dropping 4 spots more than were last week is Minnesota. One thing about being at the top of this board is it's relatively easy if you lose a few games to drop. For me to say, okay, this team lost a few games, they'll drop. Just like Buffalo has a good week and they move up a few spots. And so it's easier to move up here, it's easier to move down here, right? So that's kind of how I've always done the power rankings since I stopped seeing reaction to it. And so Minnesota is 8th right now. Possible they move back up, but they had a couple of tough losses. And so we shall see how they bounce back from that loss last week against Florida, for example. Right? Next up on the board, number 7, dropping 1 spot from where they were last week. It's Toronto. So Toronto, this week, they have this in the head of Minnesota. I feel like they're in the right spot on the board right now. What probably happened is they had Minnesota. So that's why Toronto is the one team that they switched spots to move up 1 spot from where they were last week is the New York Rangers. So what's happened is Minnesota's dropped from 4th to 8th. Toronto's dropped to 7th, and the Rangers passed down. Now, how much of this is just Shesterkin? Probably a decent amount. However, the New York Rangers, good week. And again, they're getting their points. They're up near the top of the division. And so, yeah, based on the loss for Toronto, I know there was a shootout loss for the Rangers, but so I just flipped them, switched them around. And again, when there's not that many games during any given week, it does make it a little bit tougher. So yeah, the Rangers are 6th right now. We shall see if they hold that spot next week. Number 5, moving up 3 spots from where they were last week. So they cruised 6 spots, number 8 last week. They move up 3 spots this week. So they moved up 9 spots in the last 2 weeks. And that's Calgary. Now here's the thing. So before this winning streak, there was a lot of talk about the disappointment and what does Calgary need to do. They probably need that winning streak, and now those articles have become, the Flames have proven they're a contender. I think the reality is, this is a team that's very good right now. They're on a really good winning streak. Obviously, they're going to start losing with 10 points again in the season. And the reality is going to be revealed in the playoffs. This team can win 50 games in regular season. Yeah, but if they lose in the first round, they're going to be going to a very good regular season. Right? And there'll still be no questions there. So adding to Foley's should be huge. I had a goal in the first game for them. I had a goal in the other 2. They haven't needed to. We're on a 9-game winning streak. Ours look excellent. Ours look excellent. And so Calgary makes the 2-3 months. So Calgary has a lot of games over the last couple of weeks, and they're winning them. So that's why they're jumping up past other teams. Because of the games in hand, we knew that there was going to be a large market correction. One way or the other, if somebody went on a hot streak or a cold streak, could have gone the other way. If Calgary lost 9 in a row, down in this area, right? All right, next up, number 4, moving up 1 spot from last week, Carolina. The Canes are they're really remarkably consistent. And even in games they don't win, they're usually pretty good. And you can pinpoint where they lose games because they're really pretty good in every game. They clearly play well for Rod Brind'Amour. Freddie Anderson's having a better season than I think most people may realize. And I think he's probably going to garner at least some attention for the Vezina. I don't think he wins it, but I think he'll get some attention. And really, Carolina has been fantastic for most of the season, as have a number of teams. As I did the video about parity, and how it seems like there's not really much parity this year. It's true. However, the one thing that I could say is that these top 8 teams, I think any of them could go on a run in the playoffs. And I go as far as to say St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Edmonton, Vegas, right, with the addition of Eichel and what Vegas might be able to do in the playoffs. You could make an argument that LA
scores on the PP. I think that's it.
No, they went on a run in 2020.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh! Went on a run in 2020. Awesome. In the finals in 2018. Capitals won in 2018. I think so. There are a lot of teams right now that if you believe this team can win, history.
Oh, Mattel's got his first point ever in the playoffs.
Number 3, and again, not playing a lot. They're sending the late because of COVID shutdown in January, and so they want to adverse factors come on. So there's not a lot to go on with them. So yeah, Tampa stays in third place. Number 2, the spot they were last week as Florida. For the Florida Panthers, it's remarkable how they score at will. They make it look easy. They really do. It really, when you watch the Florida game, you just swear you're watching the video game and maybe an NHL game, and that they're playing on maybe sophomore, maybe rookie, right? So maybe rookie status or
3 minutes in.
I'm trying to think of intermediate now. Hey, you guys know what I'm talking about if you play the NHL game. But yes, if you watch the games, you'd be forgiven for thinking, are they playing this on rookie? They're not playing this on Superstar because this is way too easy. And against the Minnesota team, that's really quite good. And they spanked them. Once they got the momentum, that's it, it's over. And Florida games are like that. I can watch them and go, okay, so they're probably going to lose this. Nope, game's over. Never mind, they won again. So Florida's able to do that. It's been fantastic to watch. They're second. The team that's first, again, is Colorado. Not a fantastic lead. They did lose the game against Dallas. They outplayed Dallas badly in that game. They outplayed Dallas really badly in that game. And I felt like, since this is their first loss in regulation since 1998, so they stay at number 1. But if they had lost that game against Buffalo today, Florida would have passed them. Florida, I would have swapped the two. And I had that in my mind that last night after what Florida did to Minnesota.
Oh, that's a shutout for Vinny.
Colorado. Closer this weekend than they were last week. But so here you go. Power ranking for hopefully a little earlier than normal because there weren't as many games with them. Welcome back. Alright, so 5 games tonight in the NHL. We're in Jersey. I bought in. So, not that long. I've had this Jersey over 2 years. Alright, so we're going to start things off talking about Boston and Ottawa. I will make the game 2 for me so I can have my power rankings out there before the games are done. That's nice when there's some clarity about who should finish where. So, Boston goes in against Ottawa tonight, and I had this feeling that this could be a trap, and it kind of plays out that way. Boston struggled without Marchand. I cannot overstate it. So it's Swayman versus Forsberg. Carlo was in, so word that he got cut by a skate apparently wasn't that bad. He's in the game tonight. Early press by the Bruins. The shots are only 2 apiece at 4 minutes. Lazar tips one wide as the Bruins press. Holden then has the blast and tipped and saved. Gaudette with a rush. He fires wide on that one. Sens with puck pressure, and they're getting some turnovers in this game at that point too, and frustrating the Bruins. Hall has a rush chance, that was defended out. Sens press with 8.5 minutes left. The Bruins get some chances. Forsberg makes some saves. So Anton Forsberg with another very good game for Ottawa tonight. Pasternak's denied. And Mete misses wide from in the slot. And I saw that shot. How many times does Mete get chances in the slot? I think the answer's not off. So scoreless after 1 second period. Early jump from the Sens. Sanford throws right. He gets right back up there. We did not take what timely for the hit. Swayman denies Paul. And then DeBrusque opens right from the
fuck you.
Got it in the air. And I think my favorite is, if you see the replay, his reaction was just kind of like, I don't know. He looked like he's going to be traded now. Was the only thing that I could think of with the face he made after he scored the goal. Like, he's reached this magical number, and Kenny was like, fine. All right. Don, pull the trigger. get it done. Great.
He's ready for our
So if he gets traded tomorrow, I said you got goals tonight.
We've got
First in 9
overtime
games,
kicks
so
in.
I'm
Have you got yours? Because they're ready to
Crystal
drop
would
the
answer
puck.
from Drew and Kelly at
Overtime
6:45.
action.
That was good.
Absolutely
Lazard
love it.
and I came close. I got the communication to Bruins and passed over. Clifton had a touch on Kelly. That draws the crowd. There was some debatable whether or not it was a head against. The replays I saw, he didn't hit the head of the chest, and Ben's not even happy with it. Sanders just ended up coming out of that the power play was killed off. So this was a near miss, and then Howla has one as well. Munoz and Pratt, that draws the crowd. Then it's 4-on-4 on that. The Senators left. First series of Carlo, the foil at
Kachuk's got it to the
four.
side.
So,
Here's a shot.
4-1 after that.
Quick pass over to Appleton.
For a while, but the Senators end up winning.
Calgary's got it in their own
Post
zone.
his next opportunity was denied. That power play killed off. Hall came very one
Quick feed to DeBrusk.
From the left side,
they enter the attacking zone. Here's a shot and makes the save. And the puck stopper jumps on top of it to get a stoppage in play.
Scores from Connor Brown and Paul.
A big face-off here inside the offensive
So
end.
that ties up the game. And then in the closing seconds, versus Harry won 2 goal overtime. The overtime.
The Flames take possession off the face-off. Tries to get the puck to Dubé. Motion to Mangiapane. Handles the puck. And he uses his reach to disrupt the play.
They go to 28-17
Seattle's got the puck along the wall. Shillington's got it along the boards.
11-9 Boston.
Calgary's got the puck.
12-11 Boston. Second phase.
From the defensive zone, they move the
The
puck
overtime,
around.
Boston gets shots.
Calgary's across the blue line.
The Boston. No power play from
The
Bruins.
lane was plugged up and that
Power play
shot's
from
blocked.
Ottawa. They were successful.
Up along the wing.
28-19 for Ottawa. Slayton gets
Quick
30.
pass to Josephson.
31 shots. 42 takes 30 out of 33.
Save to keep it tied. No quarter
Ottawa.
given here as
This
they
is
battle
Ottawa,
for
but
the
all
puck
of
along the
the
boards.
not what Ottawa gets this goal.
Breaking through center, they go on the attack.
All right, next up.
Here's a shot. Oh, it comes up with nothing on the play. Manages to hang on. Looking at it. And it comes up with a huge save. Drives to the paint. Oh, and somehow he gets a sliver of it and keeps it at bay. Here's a shot. Denied by the glove as the puck hops along.
I love watching him do this. It's like he's got the puck on the string. He just dangles around defensemen, draws him in, goes around him, gets a chance on net. This time, though, the goalie beats him.
Scoops up the puck here. There's the whistle as the goalie hangs on.
Chuck's known for being able to generate offense with his zone ability. And guys, there's no better time than overtime to come up big. Let's see how he does here.
Seattle's got a hold of the puck. Here's a short pass to Weber. Seattle's got the puck in the defensive end. Now a quick pass to Bean. Seattle's moving it along the wing. Whacks it into the offensive zone.
Early game power play.
Scooped up along the wall by Woodruff. And it's a quick pass to Kachuk.
Taking over very
Gets
well.
the full
But
use
on
of
the
his
second
stick
side
on the
of
poke
the
check.
game, on score is
Into the
strong.
corner of the attacking area. The Kraken have gained possession off the wall.
And they come to you
They go on the attack through center. Weber saves. There's the whistle as things will slow down here for a moment.
12 seconds
Always a
later,
good play if you're not sure what's going on. Leaves the puck. Teams are ready to go, and we're about moments away from puck
LA
drop.
gets it back to the blast at home. Harry can get a power play shortly thereafter. The Kings get it done.
Windberg's won the draw here in the offensive zone. Winning the slot, and that's picked off in the defensive end.
So coming out of the first period, LA has outplayed her.
Calgary's ready to go on the attack.
Scoreboard is 1-1.
Shot on net. That's turned away with a pad by
The second
Belichick.
period is rapid.
Sends it over to DeBrusk. Quick feed to Copper. Looking to end it. And the goalie covers up for the whistle.
Blast the stage is now King, and Trout scores, make it 2-1.
A lot on the line here in this offensive zone
Second shot
faceoff.
out of the second period is 6 overall. So, again,
Calgary's won the faceoff deep in their own end.
they did
try to answer after that.
Inside the offensive zone. The
The
Kraken have taken possession in their own end.
So that's
Loose puck
Eagles
battle along
and
the boards.
boys.
The Kraken have taken possession along the wall. Right on the gun into the attacking zone. Trying to connect the pass, but it doesn't go. And now he tries to get it across to Ulcers. Makes a move in front. Looking to end it. And that's blocked away. Tries to feed it over to Lucci. Moves the puck into the attacking area. Kind of lost control for a second there, but regains possession. Moves it quickly over to Luck. A chance to win it. He missed the net. Keeps hold of the puck. Seattle's got it from behind the net. He almost lost it for a second there, but regains control of the puck. Taken by Appleton. Seattle's on the attack. Here's a chance. And he keeps it alive. What a stop. A chance for the win. Oh, they are still tied. What a stop.
And then it's 7-12.
And they'll dump it in. The Kraken have possession along the boards.
So that all of a sudden puts the team to the lead.
Moves it to Appleton. Seattle's got the puck against the boards. The Flames take possession in the defensive end. From center they get into the attacking area. Here's a shot. Stopped by the goaltender. And the goaltender grabs that one for the whistle to try to slow things down here. Play set to resume with the face-off ready to go.
So the Kings hold on. They win this one 5-3, and by hold on, I mean they come back and win it.
Monahan's won the face-off deep inside the offensive zone, and he denied that opportunity. The Kraken have the puck against the boards. The Flames have it from their own end. And now he moves it to Benjamini. Calgary's got the puck against the half wall. Turned aside with the glove by Vanacek. He'll keep it alive and moves it ahead. And now he moves it quickly to Hall. Takes the feed. And he makes the save. I think it's a chance for a breather here as he hangs on and covers the puck up. Good for the players or for you? Seattle's won the faceoff. And the shot dies in the traffic jam. Lindholm's lugging the puck. The Flames are on the attack. Oh, making his presence felt with a hit. Dishes it to Hall. With possession along the wall. The Flames get a hold of the puck along the boards. They gain the offensive zone from the middle. Great poke check on the reach. Seattle's got it behind the net. Through the open ice, they're picking up steam. Face-off coming up as the puck goes up and over the glass. They take possession as he locks them up off the face-off. Calgary's got him in the ball.
And welcome back to
Stones him in front.
admittedly, I'm putting together this one before the original one goes live. So I'm really just hoping that you guys appreciate that. I mean, you decided the best team for a game that doesn't even really have all that many necessary battles. Well, I'll tell you who I was. Mr. Dupree. I'm right back at it here with the best team for Typhlosion, with half the team returning from the original best team, as is often the case. I'm not sure if that'll be how things go for the Decidueye, but for this team right here, there were 3 Pokemon I felt were so good on the original best team that they easily had another spot on this list. I don't want to bog down this one with more explanation, so let's hop into this first Ultimate Starter best team. So, to kick off the best team today with our starters, but one I consider to be the weakest of the 3, but still my favorite, Typhlosion. The new Typhlosion the Ghost type brought into the equation, making for a pretty cool-looking form. It stacks the addition to the special attack with a little drop to HP and speed. However, I will say that one that takes best special attack and 95 speed are both pretty damn good in tandem anyway. The other Ghost Fire type, Chain to War, is a pretty popular Pokemon for a multitude of reasons. The biggest being how well it blends the two types together. I'd go as far as to say that Typhlosion blends them even better, with an awesome design to boot. Let's get you some moveset on this thing, which surely must be fantastic, right? So, another good thing for the Best Team series here, as I'm only really suggesting you use these two moves on your Typhlosion as definite needs. You should run Infernal Parade, which is a ghost type move with a chance to burn. And if you do happen to cause a burn, well, this cool new move doubles the power. Flamethrower can help cause a burn too, of course, and it's also the strongest special attacking fire type move that Typho has. Typhlosion is very much a special attacker by a large margin, and unfortunately the cover moves it has are all weaknesses. You can get off a Thunder Punch, or Ring Punch, or Volta. Any of those moves will help wrap up the move set. The thing about them going to hit very hard due to the large discrepancy in the two attack stats. You're free to do as you please for the final two moves of the set, but if you only use Infernal Parade and Flamethrower, you'll be fine. So next up, we'll run through the 3 returning members from the original Best Team before getting to the final replay. We start with Gardevoir, who is pretty much the best Pokemon in the playthrough of this game, and will undoubtedly be popping back up on the Team Light. As I suggested prior, while you wait for rolls, it's not a bad play to rock that with an Abra or Kadabra on you. It'll really just hold that spot and be a sweet skill. But by the time you're in the tournament in Ireland, it's well too. You'll get the Garden after not too long, and then you'll have 1 25-day special attack and 1 15-day special defense, alongside a just next level elevation and that makes the Arceus got so much to let's see that. The new Garden and second Blue Block represent the ice. So there's Thunderbolt, that all-important move that plays the part of now trailing 3-2. Second Blue Block, of course, are a hero of great stats.
And the good times aren't over just yet as they come back out. Hey, this is supposed to be fun. You win, you're having fun, you get to go and say thank you for them. That's a great night for everybody here. Great playoff action tonight. My name is James Sawalski. We'll talk to you next time where the fun will continue.
If you want to set up offline, feel free to do that as well. It's really a never-ending full of dominating moves here. And it's really pushed Garden past Alexander this game. The quality of Garden's power definitely overcame the quantity of points in Alakazam's special attack. Roseland is coming up next on the team, bringing a third special attacking option to our very powerful Typhlosion team. Roseland's strength is unmatched among most grass types you can reasonably find and use in this game, but it is still only available in the Crimson Firelands, leaving the beginning portion of the game without a grass type. I still maintain calling upon Shinx and Luxio to help you out prior to adding Rolls into new to your team, as it can really help you overcome the Obsidian Killblades. So when you eventually get the two, it'll need to learn you a bit and be leveled up into Roselia, or you can just catch Roselia if you're lucky. And then for a Rose Raid, you have to get a shiny stone. You'll have to spend some time diving in and trading for one probably. But maybe you'll find one laying around somewhere after you get Ursaluna, or perhaps in a time-space distortion. It's not too hard to end up with Rose Raid, that's for sure. It should make total sense why I chose to bring it back for this team. We've got Sludge Bomb, Energy Ball, Dazzling Gleam, and Shadow Ball comprising the move pool on Rose Raid. They're all very easy moves to get on Rose Raid using the move tutor. Sludge Bomb and Energy Ball are a duo of very nice stat moves, and Petal Dance can even be learned powerfully too. So a pretty massive grass type move in the late game can make an appearance. Dazzling Gleam and Shadow Ball provide some good coverage too. And did I mention this fantastic fact? All 4 of these moves can be put on through the do by tutoring. So ending up with it instead of just getting Roselia isn't the most miserable thing by any means. So we've got all of the special power. I guess with the next Pokemon, we should get physical, right? So let's bring in the final returning team member, the great, powerful Rhyperior. Its massive amount of coverage, combined with the crazy defense it has, it just made it the obvious choice to bring back for this team. Even over Goodra, Rhyperior
Rapirior rocks out with base 140 attack and 130 defense. And while it isn't speedy, it doesn't really have to be. Rhyhorn is available in the Crimson Violence, like most of the team, so early enough into your venture. If you want to use a rock type during the Obsidian Fieldlands portion of the game, there are a lot of theories rolling around that I can definitely suggest using until you've got Rhyhorn. You'll have to get a protector one way or another to get Rapirior. And of course, level 42 is when Rhyhorn evolves. But thankfully, it's such a good Pokemon in the grand scheme of things that waiting for Rapirior to eventually come isn't that much of a detriment. High Horsepower, Stone Edge, Thunder Punch, and Shadow Claw are Rapirior's moves once again. Kind of just cementing that this is indeed a fantastic set. Just take a look at this pool up on screen. Everything from the elemental punches and fangs to Iron Man, and even Mega Horn out. There is really no wrong way to put Rapirior together. As long as you're including Stone Edge and High Horsepower, you can get the most out of its stack. The other two moves are your choices. Perhaps with the next two Pokemon coming out, you'll have to change things around on your end. So, we've got Empoleon up next.
Hey Sarah, here's an idea. With RBC Vantage, your bank account unlocks more savings and rewards every day, like earning rewards points with RBC, and getting up to hundreds of dollars in savings. Score those benefits effortlessly.
It takes the place of Infernape, you could say, as we've lost Samurott in game Typhlosion. Or we may as well flip things around here too. It's also why we don't have Goodra today, as I was able to mostly fill in any holes left behind it with Empoleon. It's easier to get and fits the team just as well with this build. But don't be surprised to see Goodra return for the Decidueye lineup. Anyway, you've got to wait for the Cobalt Coastlands to find a Piplup. It hangs out around the spring path, so Bastion Legion is a must to get it. But once there, you'll find it pretty easily and be able to add it to the team. If you're lucky, you might just find Prinplup bouncing around as well. I'm not really advocating for the usage of the Empoleon Alpha in that area, since it's such a high level. But if you're into that sort of thing, knock yourself out. Empoleon's 111 special attack and 101 special defense make it another special attacking Mon on this team. But it's really no problem. I think Rapirior and the final Pokemon on our team, we sort of have enough physical attackers. Enough of that though, let's get into the moves. The moves Empoleon has are Flash Cannon, Hydro Pump, Water Pulse, and Ice Beam. Flash Cannon is a great stab on Empoleon, and in many ways, the only Steel-type move worth using on it. I mean, who wants to actively use Steel Beam anyway? Then Hydro Pump and Water Pulse come together as two Water Oxys, one with power and the one with accuracy. Then Ice Beam is nice coverage to have on Empoleon, and it's also like the only other move worth using in its pool. Empoleon is a nice steady for Goodra and brings potentially better water coverage than Samurai. I was happy to have it on this team. We'll wrap up the team with one last new member, the incomparable Crobat. As you can probably guess, Crobat means there is no fighting rep for this team. But that's alright. The fighting typing, while dominant, can be covered by other types in certain battles just as well. As for Crobat, Zubat is available in the Obsidian Fieldlands in random areas whether it's dark or not. And when it hits level 22, it evolves. And then to go from Golbat to Crobat, you just gotta show it love. Crobat is a very speedy boy with some decent enough attack stats that it sort of just fit in just fine with the rest of the team. I know you may be questioning why I chose to bring it on when we already had some poison-type representation with Roserade, and it was mostly just because of the flying typing. And it's really
oh my
good
god, it's wrong.
I feel like it's important to just get into the moves here, starting with Cross Poison, and then Air Slash, Leech Life, and finally Dark Pulse. Now, this is a mixed attacking set, and while Crobat isn't the best Pokemon you can march out as a mixed attacker, I think this actually works pretty well. Cross Poison and Leech Life are two very powerful physical moves that can handle Fairy-type and Psychic-type Pokemon. The latter being great considering Crobat's Poison typing. Then with Air Slash and Dark Pulse, well, one is stab and one is coverage related. They're both special moves, though with Air Slash being a bit stronger than Aerial Ace, I think it's a decent trade-off. It sucks they got rid of flinching, but what are you gonna do? Dark Pulse is nice since we don't have Samurod's Dark typing on this team, and it can handle both Ghosts and Psychics if need be. So that's the team. And once again, we have to go over what we can cover with the squad. Again, I'll start by going through the nobles. The first one you have to deal with is Cleveland. And with Cleveland, it's not as easy as when you have Duwatch. It isn't as afraid of Palava battling with Pokemon, and more so on your own ability to throw balls. Then we move on to Lewis. And of course, with Crobat or Palava, you'll handle this team with the utmost ease. When it comes to Arcanine, Napoleon or Rhyhorn will be using their Super Deck Fire Rock. Then Electro, most Typhlosion will make quick work of this defense battle. Finally, your battle with Avalon, it's going to be done by Typhlosion as well, with White Figure and Roseland providing backup, much like they did with the Infernape in the original best. Let's not forget about the trainer battles too. The opposite gender characters in yourself, Solo and Mai, are all able to be put to bed by Steam as well if you've got it on your team soon enough. The battle with Ian before dealing with Clipper involves having to beat Goose, which is still a little bit annoying no matter what you bring in to face him, but it'll be fun. You've got battles scattered across easily if it is fortunate. And for the first one, you'll be able to pull out your Purlia to put down some top. Not long later, you'll need to beat the three of them in succession, and Gardevoir can pretty much handle all these battles himself. Pull out Psychic, Mystical Fire, and Ice Beam, and it's all but over. Their Pokemon wouldn't be able to handle the power. It'll pretty much just be the same Pokemon, so you'll know that Gardevoir can always handle these bandits. But there is support from the Crobat and Typhlosion too. Ingo is a fun one, and in other battles, Gardevoir pretty much handle on her own. Ice and Psychic is all you'll really need to book your ride on the subway. Drop the money with Adavan and Kirida with their Ice Grass evolution, which Typhlosion has wrapped up in this basic set. Once again, Gardevoir is proving it's such a powerful and easy to count on Pokemon for this game's best teams. We move on now to the more challenging battles, starting with Benny. His team is Miss Magius, Sneasler, Gardevoir, and Golade. A combined effort by Gardevoir's Crobat should be able to handle this Wally ancestor, which then is just right in the condiment. You're able to easily take on everything with the exception of Snorlax, unless you do a little bit of like running Rock Smash on Rhyperior. No matter what though, you'll have the kind moves necessary to knock out Snorlax. Even if they're not, after you get through that battle, you deal with Palkia and Dialga, and getting through them is definitely not as difficult as you might guess. Rhyperior and Gardevoir are all you'll really need for round experience. Then we move on to the control, and it kind of annoying smaller fight. Once again, it's just a near identical version of Cynthia's championship, with the exception of Arcanine, which takes the place of Milotic to the game. You'll want to first see a trifecta of Gardevoir, Typhlosion, and Rhyperior for this one. Silvertip gets taken out with an Ice type, Lucario can get blocked by Typhlosion's Fire Beam, and Arcanine is easy to overcome by Rhyperior, much like earlier in the game. Then for Roseland and Spirit Beam, you can use Guardy on her own, and for Guard Type Then, once you overcome Volo, you must defeat Giratina once. And it is difficult. It might look easy enough to just use Guardy on this thing, but it'll hit you hard, and it'll freak you out unless you fully screen that value. That's it for the battles though, after you overcome Volo and Giratina. Once again, I'm saying Gardevoir is the MVP of the team, with Typhlosion and Rhyperior taking on extended roles with the team's competition. It's all around definitely not as good as the original best team, but still an absolute powerhouse, led by everyone's favorite waifu, Gardevoir. Well, that's it for another best team. I can see it now. You guys are really wanting to suggest something other than Crobat, like Staraptor. Well, maybe Staraptor is overrated. And I thought Crobat would do a good enough job on it now. I didn't expect you to think about that. Well, I certainly did. No, really. Did you guys notice that Guardy, Typhlosion, and Rhyperior managed mostly everything on their own? I didn't even really need to talk about the other three. This game is less about the sort of
they get it. They've got a stranglehold on the series, but that's not what happened. And we are all evened up. Well, this one's in the books. My name is James Sabalski. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Good night.
Wrapping up yesterday. Let's go over not the game names taken at the 2022 NHL draft. Why I want these back. And in this video, we're going over the most talked about prospects in the last 48 hours. Let's go over to Slovakia and take a look at Juraj Slafkovský. Now, if you've been paying attention to anything going on in Olympic Games, you might know who exactly Slafkovský is. He is, indeed, as we noted, a 17-year-old player for the Slovak team. And you take a look at what he has done over the past, not just a few weeks here in Beijing, but throughout his entire campaign this season as a whole, and you really start to think about where this guy could go in the 2022 draft, and his entire ceiling, which in my opinion is nothing short of spectacular. Who is Slafkovský over here? He is a 17-year-old player. 2004 is the birth date, born in Slovakia, and 6'4", 218. So already, he's a big guy for a left-wing 17-year-old player. Take a look at his consolidated rankings over here. He's ranked 6th overall if you average everything out. He's ranked 8th by league prospects and through considerations. Bob McKenzie has him at number 5. McKean's has him at number 7, as well as Craig Buffy. He's the second-ranked European skater behind Joachim Kemmel. Sportsnet has him at 4. Recruit Scouting at 8. Dauber has him at 14, Draft Prospects has him at 7, Smart Scouting at 7 as well, the Puck Authority has him at number 6. So save the Dauber Prospects report that has him at number 14, he is pretty much a consistent top 10 ranked player, with some scouting outlets having him as high as number 4. Now, Cam Robinson said this yesterday, but the way Slafkovský played at the Olympic Games, quite literally the biggest stage in the world, probably is going to go out there and force some of these outlets to push him up a little bit higher on their own draft rankings. Now, before we go over that, I will say this right off the bat. The Olympic Games this year, not great. Like, everybody knows that the teams that were assembled are definitely not the best versions of these teams that could have existed. I think Scouching made this point on one of his Scouching Lives, but like, one of the best players in the Olympic Games in 2018, aside from Kirill Kaprizov, who is an absolute monster, was like Dominic Cahoon, and you have all the other guys that showed up and stepped up to play as well, and none of those guys, aside from Kaprizov, of course, are bona fide NHL stars today. Dominic Cahoon is a replacement-level player, and as a result, it's easy to conclude that the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang were not really the most, beefy when it comes to NHL caliber talent. Regardless, though, Slafkovský went out there and played the Olympic Games this season for Team Slovakia, forced them into winning a bronze medal yesterday morning. And as a result, you saw the celebrations, you saw the team go out there and cheer, you saw the kids in practice go out there and celebrate like crazy too. Fantastic moment for Team Slovakia and the country as a whole. But Juraj Slafkovský was a big part as to why they were able to go out there and win. In 7 Olympic Games, I guess, 7 games played, he had 7 goals, 0 assists. He led the entire tournament in points, and he led the entire tournament in goals. Now, sure, the point per game number is not actually his title. Sakari Manning, Tambellini, and Hartikainen all have themselves in higher points per game than Slafkovský. Not to mention Sean Farrell as well for Team USA. But Slafkovský still was in a tie for first in the league, or first in the tournament in points, and he was the top goal guy unanimously. Here's a tweet from Cam Robinson that kind of sums up how well Slafkovský's performance was in this year's Olympic Games. He's broken the record for most goals scored by a U18 player in the Olympic Games history. That goal mark is enough to be number 1, and the 7 points he has ties Eddie Olczyk for most amongst U18s in the Olympic game history as well. Now again, this year's Olympic Games was not really the best when it comes to the quality of competition, but still, Juraj Slafkovský is literally the best 17-year-old to ever play at the Olympic Games in men's ice hockey of all time. And you take a look at what he did in this tournament that made that happen, well, it's pretty easy to see why. Slafkovský scored himself several goals this tournament with absolute just banger wrist shots. He takes the puck in the face-off circle, grips it, and rips it. He unleashes a powerful wrister towards the goal. He scored other goals too, where he's tipping him out in front. Big ones where he's getting rebounds. He scored himself a ton of goals, and 2 goals in the bronze medal game as well is good enough to put him up to that 7-goal and 7-game marker. Now, the reason he's even excluded on this team is because at 17 years old, he was already one of the better Slovak players to play the game. This season for TPS Turku in the U20 League, he got 18 points in 11 games played. In the regular league, though, he scored 4 points in 21 games. Of course, he's 17 years old playing in the Finnish league, and they're not going to go out there and give him this big opportunity right off the bat. But he still displays a mature level of gameplay in that hockey league that has allowed him to consistently play and actually be a part of that organization. Playing for CBS as well as for the Slovak team at the Olympics, even when he's not going out there and scoring some pretty great goals, he's battling in front of the net, he's battling in the boards, he's swiping at the puck, and he's showing off his great hands in tight. He's an absolute dangler when he wants to be. He protects the puck really well in the offensive zone with his long range and great body placement. He's 6'4" for crying out loud. He can also spin around with the puck and protect it with one hand, which makes him a very potent offensive possession player when he has the puck in the zone. He's always got his head up, looking for open space and looking for teammates, and he's not afraid to draw defenders closely towards him to make even more space for the players he's passing the puck to. His offensive awareness is just really solid, and I think in the Finnish Liga it's a lot more evident this speed, just his hockey brain going to work and seeing him try to put all the cards into place. Now the problem with Slavkovsky right now is that he's not really the best skater. He's not too fast, he's not too agile out there, but when it comes to moving around in the offensive zone with and without the puck, it's his positioning and how he uses his strength that proved him to be uber successful in the offensive zone to showcase those passing skills and those dangling skills in times. Not to mention his really heavy wrist shots. He probably needs to start using that a little bit more in regular league play, but at the Olympics he went out there with 7 goals, so what am I going to go out there and complain about? We talked about those hands.
They get themselves into a position to tie the series and move on to the next game.
He's done that quite a few times as well, especially
In the meantime and in between time, he's led by James Goodnight.
He used to work very well under pressure, and as I said, he really good at drawing players towards him before sending the puck over the other side. And he's a weakness when he doesn't have to the offense. So he knows what it is. He finds himself in good scoring areas, he finds himself in good offensive cycling areas, which allow him to turn his shots on goal or extra passes that he can do or open up angles towards the net. He's a very good offensive line and a big frame that's still limited by his mobility and skating. But the sky's the limit as to where this guy goes as long as he's able to work on that skating. His defensive awareness is also pretty great. In his own end, he knows which lanes he needs to cover and when. He also likes to direct traffic for his teammates, so you can see him in the defensive zone yelling at his teammates, okay, pointing, okay, this guy go up there, go down there, go block this passing lane to the other side. He directs traffic, he knows what he needs to do, and he also commits when he needs to and not when he can, which I think is a really good quality because you see a lot of defenders or a lot of players in the defensive zone just go super haywire, Tyler Mott style, where they're always hounding on opposition. Not to say that that's bad in particular, but Slavkovsky doesn't waste any energy in the defensive zone. He lets the opponent go around him if they want. He lets them cycle it around the boards and everything. And then when he has an opportunity to swipe at it, he'll go out there and try. He's not going to force it like a lot of other players tend to do, but this sort of laid-back, okay, I'll bite when you bite strategy does kind of bite him in the behind sometimes. So there can be some improvements that can be made, consistently being aware of which check is your own, proper timing and everything. There are some improvements to be made. He's only 17 years old. But Slavkovsky, at the end of the day, is a guy that, in my opinion, could become a very bona fide top 6 power forward at the NHL level should he really max out on his mobility and keep trending upwards in everything else. I think it was Cam Robinson who went out there and said that if you take away the skating, Slavkovsky is like a discount Rick Nash, and Nash was pretty gosh darn good if I do say so myself. So, any Slovaks out there, please talk to me in the comments. What do you think about yesterday's performance at the Olympic Games, beating out Team Sweden 4-0 for the bronze medal, and
Oh, fuck, that's not good.
Pre-order Elden Ring, the most anticipated game of 2022. Explore a new world created by Hidetaka Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin.
Now is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 RPGs with deep lore.
I have seen the gates of oblivion, beyond which no waking eye may see.
For this list, we're looking at single-player RPGs with novel-length lore. We won't be including MMOs as they deserve their own list, while we will be including games based on existing IPs. Let us know in the comments which RPG world you would think about forever. Number 10, Cyberpunk 2077. Though the game does play fast and loose with some of the existing lore for the tabletop RPG, the fact remains that it does have a decades-long tabletop RPG to draw from. Not only that, but it uses the developed throughout the cyberpunk genre, telling most liberally the way we get there is 12 In fact, you'll likely get more out of Cyberpunk 2077 if you're familiar with the lore of Cyberpunk Red, since the game has so many factors and pieces of history that it doesn't explain up front. It's certainly a game that offers guessing with regards to its lore, like the origins of certain gangs or the corporate lore from the past, but Night City is always looking for a big strong environment. Number 9, Gear Series. The Gear franchise has moved through lore, all starting with the game spun off from Kraken. In the final ending of the game, the protagonists find themselves battling in the real world with identities inflicted on planet Earth. Fast forward thousands of years, humanity is on the brink of extinction as it deals with a mysterious entity known as Shades. Gear Automata, the most popular game in the series, takes place even further into the future, where humanity has built a race of sentient, powerful androids known as Yoha to protect it from an alien invasion. Thousands of years later, androids are still present and trying to defend. Number 8, Dragon Age series. Though the RPG genre is involving the 1970s, Dragon Age still remains a popular game as its lore. Its sister franchise Mass Effect also has some pretty extensive lore codex, but it's just nice to Dragon Age's long history. You have the various different countries, many of which are so large that you get to actually see them appear in game, the histories with each other, and you have the circles of Nagai and the Chantry and the Drumstick. The stories of the Chantry alone can collect them home, while the complexities of the Mages and Templars feel most of the focus.
Fast get to the temple is the quickest one, but not the safest.
Number 7, Fallout series. After the Second World War, our own universe and the universe of the Fallout games diverged. Fallout's United States managed to develop nuclear technology for the consumer market. Unfolded litigation until 2077, nuclear war broke out between America and China. Called the Great War, it only lasted for 2 hours, after which the entire world was destroyed. Not only is there this primary backstory, but there are long histories of factions such as NCR and the Brotherhood of Steel. In fact, if you play all the games, you witness the first and past death of the NCR over the course of it all. Not to mention that the games cover centuries of events.
Your path is through. It's a bad time. Real north is on the hell. I let a caravan. That won't make it.
Number 6, Baldur's Gate series. Undoubtedly, the biggest tabletop RPG of all time is Dungeons and Dragons. So, of course, we had to include the franchise set in that same universe on our list. It's set in the Forgotten Realms and has had many themes, its expansions into the 1998. Those games all being made by extremely well-regarded RPG studios. The likes of Black Isle Studios, Snow Grind, and BioWare have all worked on games in the series. The expansions make the series more complex, but it's worth it to spend time getting versed with the lore, as Baldur's Gate 3, developed by the French Infinity, development. Number 5, the Elder Scrolls series.
the closing days of the third year.
Bethesda's flagship fantasy series, The Elder Scrolls, is the franchise that put the company on the map and made them what they are today. The world of Tamriel is so huge that every game takes place in the same region. Once you've probably heard people mention for years that much of the world building was developed way back in the first game. People spent more than a decade waiting to finally explore Skyrim after hearing about it for so long. And the benefit of Bethesda's user-centric structure is that every new game builds more unique lore specific in that area, meaning that there's going to be even more in-game history by the time we get to Elder Scrolls 6. Number 4. Divinity Original Sin 2. For override, arrow, wall, seen by many as the absolute gold standard of fantasy RPGs, Divinity Original Sin 2 is certainly not for getting to be honest. You're gonna have to get to grips with a complex dialogue system and combat mechanics that have a very steep learning curve. But it's all worth it to the this world. Like the other games in the series, though Original Sin 2 is certainly the best, it's set in Babylon and focuses on magic users. They're called sorcerers after the source of their power. And not only does it include the usual elves, dwarves, humans, but also a race of sentient lizard people and talking undead skeletons. Number 3. Bloodborne. Though every Soulsborne game has been ready for in 2022's Elden Ring, Bloodborne might be the kind of mechanics that close to one of these. Going down a topic for a round, Bloodborne begins as what looks like a relatively simple story of corruption and reality of monsters. Slowly though, things collapse. It turns out that Bloodborne was secretly a Lovecraftian cosmic horror game all along, bringing the theme to elder gods and nurses transformation. We learn a lot from those previously episodes I will describe this time around as well, all about the simplistic underside of the healing church where the pieces come from, and what a cold, old-like thinking on genre. Number 2. Final Fantasy series. Though all the mainline number Final Fantasy games take place separately from each other in different worlds, they all share a collective source of many returning folks and creatures. All the games have generally the same vibe. They mix advanced technology with magic, like the Imperial Mako in Final Fantasy VII to be part of an industrial power company, and are about a heroic group of adventure friends. Plus, there is one famous animal you see in every single game, Chocobos. It's extremely impressive that each individual game manages to have such a unique lore on its own without necessarily being connected to numbers, at least not directly in cases. This video is brought to you by Elden Ring. Elden Ring is an expansive action RPG from the minds behind the Souls games and Game of Thrones. You are the tarnished, exiled warrior looking to reclaim their home and bring peace to the realm. To do this, journey across the lands between, a sprawling fantasy world with dark secrets, dangerous enemies, and powerful gear waiting to be discovered. With your trusty spectral steed, you can roam the world with complete freedom. Customize your warrior with a variety of classes, each with unique traits and abilities suited to take down beasts and men alike. With a fast-paced and engaging combat system, deep lore and story, and incredible bosses and world design, Elden Ring is the definitive action fantasy experience. Own it on February 25th. Number 1. The Witcher series. Novels by Andrzej Sapkowski, it's no surprise that none of CDPR's Witcher games has a single wasted moment. Whether you're completing small side quests or getting invested in the grandiose main story, you'll always look for the massive catalog of lore that add new entries to depth to the series. The series has a seemingly endless number of supernatural creatures independent, including that maybe Geralt himself doesn't know much about, like Gonzo's Gift. With a blockbuster TV show and the supposed board game in the works from CDPR, the lore of The Witcher never ends. And you, Rose.
We were speaking with her.
Retrograde, the most anticipated game of 2022. Explore a new world created by Hidetaka Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin.
I'm just unsigned for this year, and I haven't been playing in the US, in Michigan, wherever the hell he's from. So what's this X Factor? Who does that spin around? Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm not keeping Capo. I'm definitely keeping Bennett though. I just need to sign up a decent backup or starter or whatever for him. Guess we're Wellstead grew. And Sebastian Kovacic grew too. So I am going to scratch these two and then put these two playing side by side on one another. They are the future. I don't really need to re-sign anybody, do I? He actually just trades Paul's contract off. I mean, it's not bad, but it's only a 4-year deal. I'm sure somebody would love to take that contract. I'm not trading Donato or Larson. Yeah, I don't think you need to re-sign anybody. I just keep my 27 mil. Just use that for an agency or whatever.
We got this. Suddenly it's like on the bridge. Yeah.
First, give me my top scorer again. That's going to find you first. I know what to be here to find in there first, like center.
One shot right here.
Yeah, I don't want to resign with Gang, so he's just going crazy about with Butcher. But everybody else I'm going to be keeping. I can probably trade Paul, get his contract off. Yeah, I don't really need to sign anybody really. Let's see what kind of coaches I can replace. Ooh, 64% really. Jake Bean loves him.
Why do you think I know how to speak Russian? Yeah, I barely speak English. You know something I know? What was your first language? English.
Oh my god, what? Force per be costing 10K? Ah! Damn it.
What's that?
Oh my god, I would love to have Seth Jones on this team. Woo! He would be a great addition. Really great addition. 5 years at 9? Well, the team where is pushing. Who's actually in Edmonton? Yeah. I don't think we can't allow Edmonton to have Seth Jones. Nope. I don't think that will happen. I'm over my dead body anyway. Let's see here. I signed Seth Jones. I already lost 2D during draft. Who else? Ooh, Brandon Clark will be playing. So Troy Stetcher will have to be a scratch.
How is your mental fortitude? Got a pad? No, no back. No back. You have a pad? No! Nuclear! Fucking sending it, bruh.
Let's see, defensive pairings for next season. How we're gonna make them up right now.
And make sure they don't have, like, you know.
If I sign Jones, Marshall would probably be playing with Bean, and then Clark would play with Shilly. No, it'll be Shillington with Jones, Larson with Bean, and then maybe Clark with Cardo. You know, I don't like that idea at all. I think I need to sign another lefty as well.
Talking about like cashews or like walnuts or pecans or cashews or peanuts or cashew nuts.
I think we talked through already. Jesus.
A lot of nuts that I could see 15 without. These nuts, Lou's definitely not over 25, but I turned 28 in 3 months. February, I'm on due date. Oh. Anyway, do I suffer from joint pain? I suffer from a lot of kind of pain. Your skills for your age are still great. I'm not like, what's the word, like depressing. Oh, yes, because the doctor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. $5 a pop is the option. But they said that I appreciate it. That has been awesome. But not arguing for it, you gotta join definitely the favor. Everything I studied at BCIT helped prepare me for my job. You get to work more one-on-one. Alright guys. Hello. Super excited. More insight. Yo. No reason. Let's go. You can find a rock fun. Blast off. Oh.
Game is very fucking broken.
What's the actual fuck? I want to read the map. It looked like I was like jumping through a wormhole and like reality was spinning around me. That's what it looked like. I'm not even joking. I felt like I was like going in a black hole or a wormhole or something. Reality was spinning. Back time. Alright. Nice recovery.
Second line, really? But he's 33. He's probably gonna drop. He is most likely gonna drop, though. Let's kind of find another, like, power forward. Ooh, Meyer. 1 year left, too. Top 6. Damn. He will be excellent. He can definitely play top line with the breast. One? No. Yeah, that's not really close to being 1-for-1 right there. So I am not going to abuse. Okay, let's check the orders before I end the stream. Next part will be free agency, making some moves, and yeah. Betas won the cup. Oh, it was the Rangers. Okay. Bergeron with Art Ross. Bergeron Hart. Norris with the Bots, second year in a row. Bing. Ooh. Smythe wins a Marshall. Alex won the Vezina, but National won the William Jennings. Angelo. Ooh, shit.
87 on the big guy.
My coach won the Jack Adams Award. Was leading my team last year. It was DeBrus for 26 goals and 1 assist for 57 points. That number is going to grow next season for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing that grow. Being as a potential to make it 40 goals or 45 if doesn't get injured. Appleton played a really good year, Deneau played a good year, Balsers had a really good season too. Compier played a good season as well. Shelley played an excellent season. Mikhail. I wish his numbers were a bit higher, but still he puts. Check my points. Yeah, Shelley led the team, second to Jake Bean. went to 7 games with St. Louis, damn. And he went to 7 games with Rangers too, shit. Well, I didn't realize that Buffalo even made the playoffs. Anyway. Opulence and distinction. I can't understand breast yet. Shit.